What's up? Hold on, I ain't got the mic. I'm not even ready. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Let the Madness Begin.
What you blaming on your finger? That smashed finger. What you blaming on your finger?
I ain't want to inflict any more damage or anything. Yeah, what's up, everybody?
Man.
Welcome to Let the Madness Begin. LTMB Live with your boy, Will Gaillard.
And I'm Mike White.
Thank you for being here. Let's bring Facebook on board so we can... Alright, I think we good. Let's see. Bam. What's up, Facebook?
What's going on, Facebook?
How's everybody doing today? Welcome to LTMB Live. Let the Madness Begin with your regular host, Will Gaillard.
Mike, what up? What up, people?
Right.
What's going on out there?
Yeah, how's everybody doing? Romero, how you doing, Romero? Tasha, Liz, thank you for being here. If you would share this video across your social media platforms, so we can reach some more people. We appreciate that. Everybody that has a comment, we appreciate that as well. If you would like the video, of course, we would appreciate that as well. Let's see about YouTube here. Let's see how the YouTube stream is going.
What up? What up, Thomas?
Let us know if we are audible. You can hear us well. If you hear any background noises or some music or anything like that, let's just make sure everything is working properly.
Yeah, there's always a new hurdle every week.
Yeah. What's up, Jeremy on YouTube? What's up, players?
We going.
Thomas, what's up?
Just waiting for a little more people.
See, I don't know how to say that name right on Facebook.
Yeah, you going maybe can you spell out the pronunciation?
Anahwe?
Anahwe, a Burke. Is that how you pronounce it?
What's up, Russell? Thank you for the feedback. Mike,
what up, Mike?
Man?
What's up, Stafford?
Yeah. Thank you for being here, everybody. We got a good show for you. Trick Guy, James on YouTube. What's up, everybody? All right, we got a good show. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. We're going to talk about some marijuana and a suit against Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General. We're going to talk about tax reform, of course. We're going to talk about Elizabeth Warren. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. We're going to talk about Elizabeth Warren a little bit.
It just seems like they dragging this out. They're it's like a backpedaling marathon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, man. What else we got for you? Let's just begin, because we got a lot of different things.
Yeah, we got a lot of little things to deal with and some big things. Man.
Yeah. So let's talk about I guess the biggest news of the past few days. Headlines all over the place, and that is concerning Senator Hopeful in Alabama, the Republican nominee in Alabama for the Senate, Judge Roy Moore, and the sexual misconduct, sexual assault allegations into him. We talked about that on the last show as it related to a woman who detailed her story when she was 14 years old, that she was taken to his house willingly. She's 14 years old though, but yeah, he came pick her up, and she went to his house, and there was some inappropriate touching, because this is a 14-year-old girl and he was 32 years old at the time. So Judge Roy Moore has, I mean, he's denied all these allegations, and there was some more as well. None as salacious as that.
Yeah, as kind of the story has been unfolding, there's been more details to come out, kind of about his activities, and I guess his activities, like hanging around at a mall,
no doubt,
hanging around at a football game. These were his colleagues, and actually these were a couple of people who were law enforcement at the time, and everybody around town, and including his colleagues, would wonder why. Like, why is he hanging around a mall? Why is he hanging around high school football games all the time? But they can never then I guess they never connected anything.
Right.
They never could prove anything. They just thought it was weird.
Yeah. So yeah, this has been the talk for years. I mean, people have known in his own backyard in Alabama that he's gone after young girls. And like you were saying, you were talking about the mall, right?
Yeah.
And how there was some irregular activities going on there, and he was possibly banned from there. But since we talked about this on last week on Thursday, another woman has come forward. Her name is Beverly Young Nelson. She says she was sexually assaulted by Judge Roy Moore when she was 16 years old. The story goes she was working at a restaurant, and Moore offered her a ride home. When I guess she had noticed that her boyfriend was late to pick her up. Her boyfriend was supposed to pick her up, and he wasn't there at the time. So I guess she had some kind of familiarity with this Roy Moore, and she said, yeah, sure, you can take me home. So she hopped in the ride. They didn't go home. He parked in the parking lot, you know, in a dark spot, and began the assault. He began trying to kiss her and touch her, tried to shove her head into his crotch, try to take her shirt off, and she just kept fighting and fighting, and eventually he gave up and said, well, look, nobody's gonna believe your story. If you share it, nobody's gonna believe you. You know, I'm me. I'm Roy Moore. You're just this little girl. Nobody's gonna believe you. So all these years she has kept silent, thinking that she would face some kind of repercussions. She was fearful of sharing her story, but because of the 4 women that have come forward recently, she decided now is the time. You know, you're not gonna hold me in this state of fear anymore. I'm gonna share my story. So of course, Roy Moore is denying this new allegation as well from this woman. He says that he doesn't even know her. He doesn't know Korfman. He doesn't know this woman. He doesn't know any of them. But at the press conference that she was holding, she showed a yearbook, or she produced a yearbook in which Roy Moore had signed in the yearbook. This was about a couple weeks before this incident happened at her job. And in the yearbook it said, "To a sweeter, more beautiful girl, I could not say Merry Christmas. Christmas 1977. Love, Roy Moore, DA."
So you're pointing out an inconsistency, is what you're saying. So why would he say he didn't know her, but wrote her a loving message in the yearbook?
Because he wants to be hands off.
What do you say? What do you
distance himself from this story.
What do you say to people who think this is some sort of hit piece or witch hunt, or like by Democrats?
Well, there's a few different things. Like
right.
Korfman, as we talked about last week, she's a Republican. She's voted Republican.
And she voted for Trump.
Yeah. This same woman right here that we're talking about now, Beverly Young Nelson, also a Republican, also voted for Donald Trump.
I got another question. How do you feel about Republicans that are kind of distancing themselves from him right now and saying that he should give up his seat? What does that tell you? What does that tell you, Will?
First of all, it tells me that it's not a Democratic hit piece.
Okay,
if it's coming from Republicans distancing themselves. But second of all, it's kind of surprising to me that they're willing to do that so publicly, because right now where we are, they have gone past the date to where they can remove Roy Moore from the ballot. He is going to be on the ballot in Alabama for the Senate, running against the Democrat who is named Doug Jones. So there's been some talk about possibly doing like a write-in campaign, but again, he's going to be on the ballot. So you would think that them coming forward and saying that he needs to resign, we're not with him, we're not going to support him anymore, you would think that by doing that, they're helping the Democrat.
So, and that's interesting, because if they understand that the position that they're taking now is going to help the Democrat, that means they know something. That means they think the allegations are true.
Yeah.
Like, why would they risk it? Why would they risk a Democrat getting that seat if they really didn't think some of the allegations were true? And like, I think one of the common themes to all of these cases where somebody's rapiness is put on the stage. There are a lot of parties who knew about this, who had an idea. So, like, these Republicans coming forth with their, lack of support makes sense. Also, if this is some sort of hit piece, it doesn't make sense how quickly they have pulled their support based on a Democrat.
It's been quick.
Based on on a Democrat pretty much, I wouldn't say being a shoo-in, but
But it wasn't. But like you said, it wasn't even the Democrats that started this war against Roy Moore too.
No.
Immediately after the story broke, it was Republicans that were talking about
and
it.
you know, and this is something that people don't know. Like everybody is pointing to the Washington Post, which yes, we know, we've covered their bias and whatnot. Right. Initially, this was just them trying to get information on the campaign.
Right.
And this just kind of popped up. And actually, before the Washington Post looked into it, don't you know, Roy Moore's Republican opponents were trying to dig this stuff up too. People don't know that. Yeah. So people who are calling this a hit piece actually don't know the history behind it, because his opponents for years have been trying to, like, you know, dig into this, but they could never, like, their investigations never produced anything.
Well, or because the women never came forward.
The women never came forward, and they didn't talk to the right people. So if this is a hit piece, it's been a hit piece that's going on for a long time, and it's been a hit piece that was initiated by Roy Moore's Republicans. So
Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader, he said, "I think he should step aside." And when pressed further, he said, "I believe the women." So Mitch McConnell believes these women. Mitch McConnell is one of the people that are saying my support is gone. In response to that, Judge Roy Moore put out a tweet saying, "The person who should step aside is Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. He has failed conservatives and must be replaced. Drain the swamp." Which is funny. It has nothing to do with anything.
Has nothing to do with what.
No, like, you should be. No, Mitch McConnell isn't the one being accused of sexual assault. So,
but I mean, even though there are Republicans out there that have pulled support, there are a lot of evangelical pastors who've signed this this kind of letter of support for him. And then he he was on Hannity?
Yes, he was on Hannity.
And that whole appearance on Hannity led to the company that makes that coffee maker with Keurig or something, pulling endorsements or pulling their sponsorship from Hannity. Yeah. Because I don't think Hannity I don't think he realized what he did in there. Because first of all, it's either all a lie or it's all true. Because obviously the first the first thing that Roy Moore and the first thing Hannity wanted to discount was the 14-year-old, because that's probably the most salacious.
Right.
So they denied that. Well, Hannity denied that. That's not true.
Yep.
But in order to show how untrue that was, he pointed out the 16-year-old. Well, he's not a pedophile. He just dates young girls. And the young girls, that's not a problem. The young girls, that's not a problem. See, it was 16 and 18. The 14-year-old girl, she's probably lying. But wait a second. So you're saying the other girls are telling the truth. The 16 and 18-year-old.
But not the 14-year-old.
But not the 14-year-old. It's like admitting that you stole something, but you didn't steal the big thing.
Well, see, they're trying to separate, like you said, the most salacious of the events concerns the 14-year-old. So, you know, what good would it do them to say he didn't provide a 16, 17-year-old with alcohol, or 18-year-old, whatever it was?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
What good would it do them? Like, that's not a, you know, like, is that a crime? You know, it technically is back in the day, but will he be like vilified for it? Probably
not as much as he would for the 14-year-old.
Exactly.
So they have to work hard to, like, I guess, present this whole allegation surrounding the 14-year-old to be untrue. But in doing that, Hannity gave credence to the 16-year-old and 18-year-old. Like, well, we're fine with that. I was like, wait a second. So why would that be true? The 16 and 18-year-old be true, but the 14-year-old be lying, even though her story had been corroborated.
So what he set up a pattern.
He set up a pattern without even knowing it. That's why Keurig pulled their endorsements. You know what I'm saying? That's why. But anyway.
So again, this race is going to continue between. It doesn't seem like he's going to step down, because he is denying every single thing. He's denying that he even knows women, like we said. Senator Cory Gardner, who he leads the Senate GOP campaign arm, he called to expel Moore if he wins the December special election, which would be well, it wouldn't be unprecedented, but it would be the first time since 1862 that this actually happened. And the times that it did happen, I believe it's happened 15 times in the past. 14 of the senators that have been expelled were well, these were senators that supported the Confederacy. The other one, I'm not sure what the reason was for him, but 14 of them, again, this was about the Confederacy. So again, this would be historic if he actually won the election and he was expelled by the Republican Senate and the Democratic Senate, of course. But Senator Jeff Flake, he said that he would support the Democrat over Moore.
What's the lead is like completely diminished.
Yeah, so okay, before this broke, Roy Moore enjoyed something like an 11-point advantage. I think it was like 50 to 39%, I believe.
Yeah,
I saw that. Now, after the allegations, before this case that we're talking about here with Beverly Young Nelson, after Korfman and the other 3 women came forward, after that, there was a poll taken and they were virtually tied.
And the election is not until what, December.
I can't remember the date. But it's in December.
Is it the first? That might be the first.
It's like
week.
I think it's in mid-December.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Well,
yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's a lot of time.
That's a lot of time.
That's a lot of time
for Doug Jones to get some more support, or for Roy Moore to lose more support.
And I don't think the lack of, or him losing support is just because of the allegations. It's probably has a big part to do with people's reaction to it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Senator Susan Collins, she put out a tweet as well, said, "I have now read Mr. Moore's statement and listened to his radio interview in which he denies the charges. I did not find his denials to be convincing and believe that he should withdraw from the Senate race in Alabama." So again, like we said, the distancing of Roy Moore is snowballing, is just increasing. Ted Cruz, another one that said, "Yeah, I'm withdrawing my endorsement."
And they're not going to distance themselves just because he didn't sound like he was telling the truth.
Yeah,
they're distancing themselves from him because they know something.
And see, when we talked about this last week, you remember they were making these very guarded statements like, if he is guilty, then he should step down.
You know what they were doing?
But they weren't removing their endorsement.
They would be like, let's see if these allegations stick.
Yes. Let's see how much traction this story picks up.
Oh, and did they stick?
Yep.
And did they get traction?
Yep. Another woman come forward, so now they're like, you know what? We can't ride with you no more.
Honestly, I think they were hoping. They were hoping that the allegations would not stick, and the allegations had no merit. But
because, again, like we talked about, they know that withdrawing their support only helps the Democrats.
Like it.
They wouldn't do that. Do you understand? Like,
no, I know.
You know
I don't think people understand
that.
I don't think people understand that.
Like in the Senate, like you really
think they would give up the seat to a Democrat?
Nah.
Just to believe in a witch hunt?
No.
Considering how much they always stick by each other's side when the allegations are very salacious.
Right. So again, this saga continues, and we'll see if any more people come forward. We'll see if he actually resigns. I don't.
That's a good question, Marva. Is he denying his signature on the high school yearbook?
Look, he is saying he does not know the woman. He doesn't know her. He never met her. Doesn't even know the restaurant. Doesn't even know the restaurant that she worked at. He doesn't know anything.
But it's not like it's a big town.
Like, I don't know. So again, we'll see.
Hey, again, you either deny everything or then deny nothing.
Exactly.
So he's on the deny everything tip.
But Hannity didn't help him out.
Hannity,
he didn't help him out.
Again, like I said, it's not just the allegations that are doing it. It's not just the allegations that are causing the poll numbers to jump. It's how people respond to it. And so sometimes people start to look more guilty based on how they defend themselves and who defends them.
Yeah. More sexual assault, more sexual misconduct, sexual harassment claims to talk about, incidences we'll talk about.
You doing a sex show today?
Yeah, man. Look, man. You know, I mean, look. 2017. Man, these dudes are being outed.
This is rape. This is like a rapey award show.
It's just like snowballing is just increasing. We talked about Louis C.K., the comedian, the profound comedian, the very notable comedian, and the multiple instances where he actually masturbated in front of unsuspecting women or tried to masturbate in front of unsuspecting women. So he has said that these allegations are true. He said that the stories were true. He said that if you read his statement, it was like like, is this an apology? Is this really an apology? But he said that they were true. So
I read his apology.
Yeah,
and
it's being mocked.
It's being mocked because it needs to be. Because like straight, I'm pretty much at the top. At the beginning of it, he basically said, as I reflect upon, my actions and blah blah blah. At the time, I didn't think what I was doing was wrong, and I was like, I already knew what it was going to be from the jump. I'm like, really? There's no way he did not know what he was doing was wrong even back then. Nah. It's not like he was a young dude, and even a young dude would know that's really not right. Hey, can I masturbate in front of you?
That's not regular.
That's not regular. Or
no, that's
masturbating while another woman is on the other end of the line.
Yeah, on the phone.
So
unsuspecting.
He's trying to say in his apology, he's trying to say that at the time he thought it was okay. This is what his apology started off with. At the time I thought it was okay. That's not like coming clean, actually, because you're saying at the time I'm not at fault.
I don't believe
because I thought it was okay.
I don't believe he used the words "I'm sorry."
Nope. Again, because from the jump you can tell what it was going to be. I'm not going to take full responsibility. I thought it was okay at the time. I'm like, wow, he's actually that seems like a justification to me, man.
Cry no tears for Louis C.K., man. And again, I see this. It's like a wave of
booty grabbers.
Well, I'm talking about with just him, like a wave of former support for him. Like everybody is so disappointed in him because they didn't see something like this coming from him. And I guess when you attach your support to somebody that you have enjoyed throughout the years, and then when you see something like this that they've done,
so yeah, you grow fond of their their entertainment capability.
It's like you're invested in them, in their career, and then to have this revealed, it's like, ugh. But anyway, there's more sexual misconduct allegations to get to. Matt Zimmerman, who's an executive at NBC News, he has been fired following multiple allegations of sexual misconduct, sexual harassment. This happened just a couple days ago. Andrew Kreisberg, who was a television producer on CW. He's created programs like the Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl. He has been suspended for sexual misconduct allegations. We're talking about cases of inappropriate touching, kissing unsuspecting women, asking for massages. What is this asking for massages?
You know what that's about.
I know what it's about.
But it's like massages lead to something else.
I know,
because it's like start with the shoulders. Can you move down a bit?
This ain't
Can you move down?
But this isn't a porn though. This isn't like some porn. Like, I mean, like you're in the office and you're like, yeah, give me a massage. Like, what you gonna close the door and?
But see, these dudes are dumb.
Yeah.
They're trying to like get to places using tactics that they think women don't understand. Like,
they won't know. I just gotta ask for a massage, and they won't be.
I know they won't.
They won't know.
The least bit suspicious. Hey, yo, Brenda, man, I'm stressed out, yo. Yo, Brenda, come over, get off the computer right quick.
Oh,
I need you to come over here and massage my shoulders, Brenda. Like what,
man?
Like
again, it's so stupid. I don't know. But anyway, none of the accusers have been identified in that particular case. But again, he's been suspended, not fired yet. But another one we're gonna talk about.
Oh Lord,
George H.W. Bush. We've talked about him before because how he would squeeze ladies' buttocks when he's taking pictures with them.
He was booty grabber.
Yeah, he's a booty grabber. What'd you call him? You called him something.
Man, I done called him so many, man. I just called him so many names, I forgot, man.
Yeah, but yeah, and then his office, you know, kind of responded to these cases of inappropriate touching, sexual assault, and they said that, well, you know, he's in a wheelchair, so you know when he reaches over, you know, his arm just falls down there. You know, he just gives it a squeeze.
So they were again another case where predator is being covered for.
Yeah, enabled, like you said.
Booty bandits. That's what I
booty bandits.
Booty bandits. Booty bandits.
But there's another case now. There's another allegation, and this one is from Rosalind Corrigan, and she detailed her case to Time magazine. She said that in November 2003, it was an event in the Woodlands, Texas, the office of the Central Intelligence Agency, where her father gathered with the intelligence officers and family members to meet the former president, George H.W. Bush. So she's become the 6th woman since October 24th to accuse Bush of grabbing buttocks. Now, she was only 16 at the time, I believe, and he was 79 years old. And you know what? Let me show you the picture here. This is only going to come on through YouTube.
If y'all on YouTube, you can see it. But if you're not on YouTube, then you're not going to see it.
Yeah, look at this picture now, right?
Okay, good. Describe the picture.
So she says that in this picture, he was engaged in grabbing her buttock. Right when this picture was being taken. So her mouth is kind of wide open. She said that's the reason why her mouth was wide open, because she was so shocked by the former president squeezing the buttocks of a 16-year-old girl. And then if you look at him too, look at the look on this dude's face. Man.
Yeah, for the people on Facebook who are not able to see this picture, he is his mouth is kind of half open, and his tongue is kind of resting on his lip like that. Now it could be due to his, you know what I'm saying, his old age. You know how old people.
No. He looks like this. He looks like a predator. Like he's in the process of doing something.
Maybe you see that now.
I know. Maybe but it provides context, though.
Yeah, maybe you can see that now. Now he just look rapey all the time.
Yeah,
maybe he's got like a perpetual rapiness.
He has that predator look to him. But yeah, so that's the picture. But that's the picture from 2003. And this is a quote that she told Time magazine. She said, "My initial reaction was absolute horror. I was really, really confused. The first thing I did was look at my mom, and while he was still standing there, I didn't say anything. What does a teenager say to the ex-president of the United States? Like, hey dude, you shouldn't have touched me like that."
Correct. I think everybody that's watching the live stream at YouTube, and everybody who's watching the live stream at Facebook would say that's an understandable reaction from a teenager. Those who you just joining us, I see we still have a lot of viewers. Hello, Amy, both Amy's. But anyway, think about this. How old is he? Like 93, 94? He's in his
90s.
93, 94. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But okay, like a lot of his like booty bandit activities were, you know, he was doing that when he was in 79, 80. So when more allegations come forth, which might happen and might go back further,
yeah,
why would it be surprising? Because if he is engaged in this type of activity as whether it be in a wheelchair, what do you think he was doing when he was more rambunctious?
See, and see, you brought up the wheelchair. Now we have to go back to the statement from his office saying that, oh, this was because he was in the wheelchair and his arm just fell down, and he would just try to make light of it, make a joke while he squeezed some booties. But he's standing there. He's standing in this picture. He's obviously very tall.
You gotta reach.
He's much taller than these two women, like the 16-year-old and her mother. He's much taller than them. So this wasn't because he was confined to a wheelchair. This is because he's a dirty old man. He's a sexual predator. See, and this actually just makes the MLB look even worse. We talked about this weeks ago, before Game 5 of the World Series between the Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Dodgers, they had this fool come up to the mound. Of course, he couldn't make the first pitch, but his son, George W. Bush, came up there, took the ball from him, and made the first pitch. But to even have him up there on that stage, on a national stage like that, it's like saying that, hey, all these recent claims of sexual abuse, of sexual assault that you have said was true, well, they don't really matter. We're still going to have you on this platform, on the national stage, and celebrate you, even though you're a sexual predator. Unbelievable, man.
But I mean, I mean, all this is really not surprising because, I guess the sexual entitlement these men in power have, connect directly to the entitlement that they feel they have in regard to how they engage with the world in general, in their power positions in general. I think those two things are connected,
right.
Imperialism and misogyny. You know what I'm saying? Because in order to control the world, you got to start at home first. You know what I'm saying? That's where you start at, man. You got to start at home first. You got to start with your ladies. You got to start with the women's.
And they've been they've been trying to control women since the beginning of time. Couldn't vote, couldn't do a lot of different things. And sexual assault goes back so far. And as we're seeing right now, the trend has been that no, it's not going to be tolerated, but women are still afraid about coming forward and sharing their stories. Thankfully now more and more women are starting to do so.
And would you say, like, what other networks, what people on other networks?
NBC News fired somebody, CW put somebody on suspension.
They're trying to get ahead of the game.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to get ahead of the game. They're probably right now, they are probably going through their staff and some of their higher ups right now so they don't get called out and put on the chopping block or the stage. They're probably going through their organizations with a fine-tooth comb and probably getting everybody out now before it becomes publicized.
Netflix with Kevin Spacey shut down that program, cut all ties to him. The movie, he's been replaced. Look, man, again, the environment that we're living in now, thankfully, is becoming more and more so that we're not going to tolerate this behavior. But we still got a long way to go because rest assured, there are a lot of cases that have not been reported yet. And hopefully they start to be.
And if you see a man or woman, but most likely potentially a man. If you see a man destroying a Keurig coffee maker, you know what to think of him. You already know what you're dealing with. He already telling you what he about. First of all, he's telling you that he is complicit, and I guess this whole predator behavior, and he wastes money too because he's destroying product he already bought.
Silly though. Silly though. So, all right, Facebook. That's gonna be it. We have the link in the header so that you can be taken to YouTube so you can watch the rest of the show. That's where we're going to be conducting the rest of the show. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you everybody that made it out. But if you would please click that link and we'll see you over there. All right, let's get into I mean, all of this is funny, man. So one of President Trump's judicial nominees, this guy is named Brett Talley. He was, Donald Trump he nominated him last month, I believe. It was in October, I believe. He nominated him for to be yeah. I'm just trying to think about it because it's so ridiculous. So he has a conflict of interest that he did not share when he was when he was appointed.
When he was supposed to fill out his form.
Yeah, that's right.
His confirmation form.
Yeah, when he was. And funny thing is, like, he does that. Like, that's his job. Like, currently, that's his job.
Yeah.
He
helps, potential nominees fill out their forms accurately, or supposed to.
Right. So, yeah. So, this was first reported by the New York Times. And again, he's supposed to be a nominee in a district court in Alabama, but he didn't disclose in his questionnaire to the Senate Judiciary Committee that he's married to Ann Donaldson. And Ann Donaldson is married to. Well, no. He's married to Ann Donaldson. Ann Donaldson is the top aide to this guy named Don McGahn. Don McGahn is the chief of staff, White House counsel. Yeah, the chief of staff, White House counsel. And
he oversees nominations. He oversees judicial nominations.
Yes. So of course there's a clear conflict of interest right there.
Wait. So on like you said, there was a questionnaire, right?
There was a questionnaire, and he had to fill out. But he failed to say that this was my wife has ties.
But isn't there
works for?
But there's a specific question. It's not like these like he's supposed to just know what to fill out. There's specific questions that say things like, are there any family members that may pose a conflict of interest?
Yeah. Well, that's typical on any if anybody's ever had a job. If anybody's ever had a job,
do you know anybody that works here? Yeah. Do you have any friends that work here
or anything like that? Everybody knows about a conflict of interest form. So that was the form that he had to fill out, and that was the space that was in that space that was provided. He was supposed to say, "Yeah, you know what? My wife, she actually works for Don McGahn. I don't know if that's a conflict of interest or not. I don't know if it's enough of a conflict of interest, but I'll just be forthcoming and provide the information to you." But he didn't do that.
So you know what? I was going to say, well, he by mistake, but there's no way he did that by mistake. No. He purposefully omitted something that's fairly commonplace.
And again, his current job
is to make
deals with this all the time.
Yeah, make sure potential candidates, make sure nominees fill out forms correctly.
Yes. But he didn't fill out his own form correctly.
So are you saying that he was told not to? You think? You think he was told not? You think he did this on his own, or you think someone told him?
Well, okay. Look at who this guy is, right? Okay, so according to HuffPost News, let me see right here. Talley, who is currently a Deputy Assistant Attorney General at the Justice Department, has already sparked controversy with his nomination. He has only practiced law for 3 years. He has never tried a case in court, and he was deemed not qualified to be a judge by the American Bar Association, making him Trump's 4th judicial nominee to earn the rare and abysmal rating by the nation's top legal organization. So if you take that into account, how this guy is very inexperienced, he is not qualified for the job that he has been nominated for, do you think that he would just on his own? So, because he would have had to have a conversation with Trump or somebody just below Trump, somebody with some weight. You know what I'm saying? So they would have to know who this guy is.
Chief strategist or something.
They would have to know his record. They would have to know that he's never tried a criminal case or he's never tried a court case.
And that would come into question.
That would come into questions. They would have to know who his wife is, right?
And once they figure out who his wife is.
Because, hold on, this guy, again, his wife is the chief of staff to White House counsel Don McGahn. So, you don't think Trump knows who Don McGahn is? You don't think Trump knows that? You don't think a chief strategist knows who Don McGahn is? Really? So if you don't know who Don McGahn is, I guess then that would make sense that you don't know who this wife is. Ann Donaldson. I guess that would make sense. But then you went about the business of saying that this guy right here, for this appointment, this guy's the best guy for the job. But you don't know nothing about him?
Basically what you're saying is he was instructed not to divulge the information about his wife.
Yes. Okay. But it came out.
Of course it was going to come out.
Well, they were trying. They were trying to slide.
I think people don't understand how big this is because this is a lifetime appointee. This is a lifetime appointee.
Yes.
And I think for the most part, he has full GOP support. Like I think Chuck Grassley, I want to say it was Chuck Grassley, was asked about it, and he failed to respond. He didn't comment. He didn't issue a response.
But think about how that sounds, man. How could all this? How could all these Republicans get behind this guy if he's never tried a case? He's only served for 3 years. This is a lifetime appointment.
Because it's not about qualifications. It's about like how much, or like what's the likelihood he's going to rule in, I guess, or what's the likelihood of him ruling in favor of your typical GOP politics? Hold
on, no, but judges aren't supposed to be political.
But this particular person is. He's said all kinds of things that indicate his bias all throughout the years.
So what you're saying is that he was specifically chosen to further an agenda.
Yes.
And
yes.
Told to close your mouth. Don't say nothing about your wife.
Yes. Again, he's putting people in there that I guess are not experienced. I don't think out of pure ignorance or not knowing what the best people to put in those positions. I think a part of it is Trump's advisors. They're putting certain people in that don't know shit for a reason, because those people can be manipulated. You know what I'm saying?
And see, this isn't the we've gone over the different appointments that have not made any sense.
Oh, and there's more. There's way more.
DeVos.
This the next chick, Kathleen, whatever her face is. I forgot. Hart. What is her name? Hartnett.
Oh yeah, Kathleen Hartnett White.
Yeah.
Hartnett White. That we're gonna talk about a little bit later.
Ben Carson.
There's too many. I think there's too many to name.
The EPA.
Yeah. What, Pruitt?
The Pruitt.
Yeah.
And then his own the internal environmental
board,
advisory board within that agency.
This is just like, again, we're seeing a pattern where Donald Trump and his administration want to further their agenda, and I don't begrudge them for furthering their agenda, for trying to, just on the surface, trying to do what they want to get done, but they're trying to, like, in this particular case, they knew this guy shouldn't be nominated for this position. They knew he had a significant conflict of interest and that he shouldn't have been nominated for this position.
I feel you, upstate South Carolina Green Party. You says judges are totally political. Come on now. Yeah, we don't deny that.
Just.
Yeah. We know that. That's not, we're not like naive about that, but there's a difference between kind of it matters what direction your politics are in. Everything is politics and everything is political, but what's the direction of your politics? Like how are you engaging the world? So yes, everything is politics, but politics is not the same. So I think he was just saying that in general.
But if you're going to appoint somebody to a position like this, to a lifetime position,
yeah,
no matter if you're a Republican administration or Democratic administration, never tried a case, only's been on the job 3 years. You really think that's what's best? Like, how could he survive a hearing? How could he survive a confirmation hearing? Seriously? It looks like they're just they're just throwing darts now, just like we're plucking this guy out of here. I have a hook in him, so you know what, he's gonna do what I say. Looks like that's the best job. I mean, the best route that I want to go here. Drain the swamp. That what we're doing?
Yeah, I just don't think that, I guess people that expected some big things from Trump, I don't think they have a lot of excuses now. I think the excuses need to stop, even though it's been a year.
There's too much.
Like, there's just too much. It's kind of like if you are turning down a path, right? If you are turning down a road and the destination is 100 miles down and you know that, and after 10 miles things are so egregious and you recognize you're going in the wrong direction, you don't keep going. You turn around immediately. Once you realize, hey, I'm going in the wrong direction, you don't keep going down that road and say, oh, just give him a chance. At this point right now, it doesn't look like he's actually capable of not just like being the president, but actually overseeing certain advisory positions that are being held in regard to, call it the administrative state. Like right now he is like gutting the administrative state, and he's doing that by appointing people who are not qualified. And for anybody to just try to brush this over or brush over this, people are just in denial.
But see, that's exactly what people are doing. The same path that you're talking about, that you would, if you had any logic behind you, you would turn around and like try to actually find logic, not just keep going down the same path, because this is insanity. They've put on blinders now, and they're just bumping into wall after wall after wall.
Right. And we're still, and the thing is, it's like we're not I guess in the general election anymore. We're going to enter a new election cycle next year, but we're not in the 2016 general election anymore. We can talk about the consequences to it, but if we're going to talk about the ramifications of the moves made by this administration and this Congress, we have to keep it there and stop, like, I guess, attacking side stories with more vitriol than we're attacking these kind of the main arrangement of stories that's coming from this administration, things that affect you more immediately.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No doubt. Because again, we're not even a year into his administration, and we've seen how multiple decisions, multiple things that he's tried to do
is either
to the detriment
and
of the American people.
Not even to mention unconstitutional,
right?
Because his pardon of Arpaio might not even hold up.
Right.
His immigration ban, the military ban from a transgender ban. So all these things he's doing, he's showing everyone that he has no understanding.
But see, and that was evident on the campaign trail. Just people thought that they bought into his narrative. They bought into his bloviating, saying that, hey, when I get in there, that's when I'll learn it. I'll learn it so fast. I'll know so much and make your head spin. It's like, come on, man. This ain't an easy job.
It's about time people actually take some responsibility in regard to why they voted for Trump. Yeah. And I don't want to hear any damn excuses, because you're not if you're a grown person who's part of the voting base, you're not allowed to have undisciplined frustration. We are allowed to have frustration, and there was a lot of that during the election. But these people are mature, or should be mature enough, to not have undisciplined frustration. I am not going to wholeheartedly blame the Hillary Clinton campaign and the DNC for Trump. Yes, they had a lot of flaws, but you don't run away from, I don't know, you don't run away from Jason and then go run up and try to be friends with Freddy Krueger. You see what I'm saying? There's other options. So yes, we don't have Trump just because of Hillary Clinton. We have Trump because people are gullible, and I think people need to own up to their gullibility.
Yeah, and look, the problem is that what we saw in 2016 is what we see in every single presidential election year. It's just that in 2016 we had two truly horrible, terrible candidates that gave everybody a reason to actually find another outlet. Like, let me see what else is out there. Maybe now is the time to say my vote needs to go somewhere else instead of the two main political parties. But that didn't happen. Like you said, people we're not giving you a pass because you had every opportunity to say that this candidate is bad and
that candidate's bad. So if
let me do something else.
Yeah.
And if you really you could have even done that during the primaries as well. It didn't have to be about the general election. During the primary, all the people that casted their vote for Hillary Clinton, you could have made a different option. All the people that voted for Donald Trump. I mean, who was the third party option? Gary Johnson. I mean, all the other Republican candidates, of course,
were establishment candidates.
Yeah, but Rubio, would he been as bad as Donald Trump?
Probably.
I don't think so. Kasich.
So basically, what you're saying is, if you are tired of the same old thing. Let's say you're tired of eating ham and cheese sandwiches every day, and it's not sustaining you. You don't go to eating porridge. You see what I'm saying? You might be tired of something, and you might be tired of the same old thing. It's not serving you, which is good, but you don't go to something just like oatmeal. Okay, now I'm gonna eat oatmeal every day. See, that's gonna be better. I think that's why I can't give people a pass, because you went from something that you said was not working for you, not serving, I guess, you as a voter, not serving the people in general, but then you opted for something worse.
But see, that analogy, I don't think that analogy is good enough.
Give me a better one, bro.
Like
give me a better one.
That's like, me back in the day in single life, I used to eat spaghetti every single day. Cook a big pot of spaghetti. Every single day I had spaghetti. Every single day. Now that would be like me saying, you know what, man? Done with this spaghetti, man. I'm tired of this. You know what? I'm gonna go outside, pick up a banana peel, a half-eaten banana outside on the ground. Rotten.
With brown. Yes. Bunch of brown.
And be like, you know what? This got to be better.
It's got to be.
It has to be, because it's different. Changing the game
you know
up.
what? I would look at you like you were illogical, even if you were frustrated. And let's just say, actually, to make it more accurate, you weren't cooking the spaghetti yourself. It was being fed to you. That wasn't your choice. But now that you have a choice, you have a choice, and you make that choice to eat some rotten bananas with fruit flies on it. I'm not letting you off the hook for that, bro.
Yeah, no. And see, that's a better analogy. that's a better analogy of what we saw in 2016. So yeah, no, nobody gets a free pass. We had different options. We just didn't use them. Now, 2016, of course, in the general election, we supported Jill Stein. We didn't believe, like given the state of America, given the state of politics, I don't think we had any illusions that she was actually going to win. Of course, it's possible if enough people rally behind it. And I mean, in a time like 2016, when you had these two truly horrible candidates, why not now, right? Why not? But we saw that not even in that situation could a third-party candidate even muster 5%. 5%. Ugh.
So there's a lot of things to blame for Trump, and I don't think it's just the DNC.
No, it's not just the DNC.
Because
not just Hillary.
Yeah, because I just been frequenting a lot of social media platforms, and everybody talks about, the Democrats are so corrupt, and the liberals, they were vitriolic, and that's why Trump got elected. I'm like, Trump is corrupt too. Yeah. So you are exchanging one pirate ship and jumping onto another pirate ship.
There's enough blame to go around.
There's enough blame to go around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right. What we got next, bro?
But anyway, yeah, the guy we're talking about, the Talley, Brett Talley, his confirmation vote could happen as soon as this month, though. So we'll see. Again, I don't know how he gets past it. I don't know how he gets past the hearing, but
yeah, Matthew, yeah, you're right. Not knowing Aleppo was in Syria did kill Johnson's campaign, but they're always looking to kill, the campaigns of third party. I really wasn't. I didn't really like Johnson either, but
no, I didn't.
I didn't really like him, but
do I like him better than Trump?
Exactly. I'm like, what, like,
Anyway, okay, yeah, but we referenced Kathleen Harnett White. So, Kathleen Harnett White was nominated by President Trump last month to lead the Council on Environmental Quality, the top environmental position in the White House, CEQ, right? It's a pretty notable position. It's a pretty important position. Like I said, top environmental position in the White House. Kathleen Harnett White.
So, the top environmental position in the White House. That tells me that that individual should be very well versed and very educated on like environmental sciences. You know what I'm saying? Like climate change science and all that stuff.
Yeah. Energy.
Right. Yeah. Energy. Yeah.
No doubt. But what that also tells me is that anybody put forth by Donald Trump would have an agenda, would have a like-minded agenda like Donald Trump.
And we just kind of pulled ourselves out of the Paris Agreement. So it makes sense that anybody he's appointed would be anti-science, anti-climate change, pro-fossil fuel, something like that, right?
And that's exactly who she is.
Oh, okay.
That's exactly who she is. So the video of her confirmation hearing has gone viral pretty much because there's a lot of hilarity in the video, a lot of confusing statements that she made, a lot of baffling statements, a lot of craziness that she uttered. So just to get to a little bit of it, when speaking about climate change, she noted that she believed that, well, first of all, I believe she said that she didn't know if climate change was an actual thing.
No, she didn't. That's not just it. Yeah. He was asking specific questions about like the sea warming.
Yeah, well, no, but we'll get to that.
Okay,
okay. Before that though, when just talking about climate change, she was, like I said, she was like, she didn't know if that was real, but then she attested to, yeah, okay, but you know, she believes that humans are impacting it, but to what degree she did not know.
Wait, now
it's not quantifiable.
This lady compared belief in climate change. A lot of people don't know that she compared climate change to belief in paganism. So we already know what kind of person we're dealing with.
Mystical stuff.
It's, yeah, I know.
Wow.
Yeah, it's magical.
Yeah. But yeah, she was like, there's just too much uncertainty, you know. I mean, but of course there's too much uncertainty when you need to do everything you can to protect the fossil fuel industry, though. Of course, that makes all the sense in the world. When your agenda is to protect the fossil fuel industry, protect fracking, of course you don't know if climate change is real. And if you're pushed to an answer to say that humans do play a role, of course you're going to kind of muddy up the waters by saying that we don't know how much, and there's no likelihood that we will ever know how much.
But see, there's the thing, like, he was asking basic questions about kind of climate change, and she couldn't answer any of those questions. But what she was doing was, even though she didn't know the answer, it looked like whatever that answer was, which she didn't know, whatever the answer was to his questions, there's still scientific contention about it. You know what I'm saying? She was like, whatever the answer is, even though I don't know it, it's still a debate. So I was like, what? You don't even know what
We're going to show you that video. But first, this is a quote by her. She said, "I am not a scientist, but in my personal capacity, I have many questions that remain unanswered by current climate policy. We need to have a more precise explanation of the human role and the natural role." Of course, she's not a scientist, which I don't like that. Being in this role, I don't like that you're not a scientist. But okay, if you're not a scientist, at least be familiar.
Basically, she can't even come up with a good answer that would support her climate change denial.
No, just that it's not quantifiable. You can't quantify it. We don't know how much humans are negatively impacting the climate. Anyway, so there's a video that we want to show you, and this is what you were talking about. So there's an exchange with her and Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, in which he put this up on Twitter because he was baffled by her non-answers and her confusing answers as well. So this is the video.
Do you know how much of the excess heat that has been captured by greenhouse gas emissions has been absorbed by the ocean, roughly, say, to the nearest 10%?
I don't have numbers like that. I've read about...
even to the nearest 10%. Do you know if it's more than 50% or less than 50%?
Could you ask, I'm sorry, but could you ask the question one more time?
Of the additional heat that has been captured in the atmosphere as a result of greenhouse gas emissions, do you know how much of that excess heat has been captured in the ocean? Is it more or less than 50%? Do you even know that?
No.
No, okay.
But I believe there are difference of opinions on that there's not one right answer.
Really? Do you think there's actual serious difference of opinion whether it's below 50%?
Unless I'm mistaken, yes.
You think there is?
Yes, and
serious difference of
unless I'm
opinion as to how much of that has been captured by the ocean. You think there's serious scientific opinion that it's below 50%?
Yes.
Okay, wow. Do you think that if the ocean warms, it expands? Does the law of thermal expansion apply to seawater?
Again, I do not have any kind of expertise or even much layman's study of the ocean dynamics and the climate change issues.
Just enough to know that you think that there's not science that establishes clearly how much of the heat has been taken up by the oceans. You knew that, right? You said you knew that. My time's expired. I'm sorry. I hear the gavel knocking.
Oh, there you go.
Isn't it better that we don't have, you know, all these learned establishment know-it-alls that can trick us with all that fancy scientific jargon? Isn't it better that we don't have those people telling us what to think and feel dumb?
Did you see Senator Whitehouse? He was like, really? Like, wow. Really? Obviously, in this exchange, you saw a senator that knew way more about her job responsibilities than she does. Now, when they began talking about how warm the ocean is, just to give people a little bit of clarity on what they were talking about, this is a quote, or this is a piece from the Washington Post. In short, research suggests that as much as 90% of the heat trapped by the atmosphere ends up being stored in the Earth's ocean. That has an expected consequence. Ocean water temperatures are higher now than they used to be. Now, because of that, because ocean water is warmer now than it used to be, that has forced some sea animals out of their habitats. That has caused sea levels to rise. So when sea levels rise, that means more flooding is going to take place. When flooding takes place, that means damage to real estate property, right?
And I guess displacement.
Yes, of course, obvious displacement. Funds. FEMA might have to come in, you know, infrastructure. This is going to be about money, right? To fix problems, fix damage.
How many times have you seen at one of these, I guess, confirmation hearings? When is the last time you seen a senator tap out? No, I'm dead serious. When's the last time you seen a senator tap out? Yo, he was like, when's the last time he acknowledged his own time? Oh, my time's up. I'm out. When's the last time you've seen that?
I don't think she had no answers.
She was like, I'm done.
Like,
he's like,
do you remember you see how long it took her to answer questions? And she didn't even answer the last one.
No, she was looking like this. You know what? He pulled the, I think I have some cookies in the oven. That's what he pulled. Because he's like, I hear the hammer. I was like, I don't recall hearing a hammer. Maybe there was a hammer. But he wanted to get up out of there quick.
But the last question that she didn't answer was like, do you know that heat makes the oceans get, do you know that the sea levels are going to rise because of heat, because of rising heat temperatures? And she couldn't answer that question. Like a simple person, if you ever put water on the stove and turned up the heat, what happens? The water rises, right? Water expands, the molecules, right? It expands. So of course the same thing takes place in the oceans. If the ocean water gets warmed, that means that sea levels are going to rise, and that's going to cause significant problems. And she had, like, it was like about the 90%, like we said about the research suggests that 90% of the heat trapped by the atmosphere ends up being stored in the Earth's oceans. She's saying that she doesn't know. She said she read about that, which is troublesome because, again, you're going to be the head of the CEQ. Okay? This is the top environmental position in the White House. So that's troublesome that you don't know what you're talking about. So she's like, yeah, I read about that. I don't really know, but
I do know that there's a multiple right answers.
Yes.
Assumption.
There's uncertainty involved. Yeah.
But how do you know? I was like, you don't know about the studies at all, but you know there's uncertainty. How do you?
But she was sure about.
She was sure about that.
Because she said yes. Because he was like perplexed. He was like, "Are you? So you're telling me there's serious debate about it being less than 50%?"
Well, she said there's more than one right answer.
More than one right answer. That's not how this thing works. That's not usually how this thing works.
Yeah, but what are like some serious consequences of this though? Because like lobbyists like are going to be lining up to take advantage of the knowledge gap between these current appointees, and then previous appointees. They, you know what I'm saying? Like this is like a lobbyist wet dream because these people don't know what the heck they talking about.
But see, that's why she was put there though. She was put there to take these hits, to take the abuse from when it came to her confirmation hearing. She knew she was going to face these questions. Donald Trump knew she was going to face these questions, but he had to put the right person there that was going to do exactly what he wants done. Refute all accepted science. Refute it. Don't talk about climate change as it relates to humans affecting climate change. Don't talk about that. Don't talk about the Earth's oceans being warmed and how that impacts sea levels and damage to real estate and flooding. Don't talk about any of that. Just act like you don't know.
But that's like, at least like when, you know, these potential appointees or, you know, I guess members of these advisory boards, especially the environmental advisory boards, like even when they, you know, were being influenced, right, or potentially influenced by fossil fuel companies, like they at least formed some sort of, I know this is kind of weird to say, like articulate denial.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like the poo-poo that came out of their mouth, at least sounded like they knew what they were talking about. You know, like they had an idea of what they were trying to say, and they was able to communicate that in a very articulate way. Like if you knew the science, then you would be able to pick it apart. But for people that don't know, they would be more readily. They can say, oh well, that sounds like it might be true.
As long as they can use a little bit of scientific jargon,
yes,
and skew data in a very articulate way, then they can make people think that there is some debate. But she wasn't even able to do that.
It looks like Trump just picked somebody up off the street and put them down in this Senate confirmation hearing. Was like, I think I read something about that. But I don't know. She had no idea what she was talking about.
So he just like went to the nearest bus stop.
I don't know. Again, this is Donald Trump appointing or nominating somebody that has absolutely no clue about how to conduct or perform their job responsibilities. A simple question, like, do you know that heat affects rising sea levels, right? You do know that, right? She's like,
she paused. She was like, wait. She's like, wait. Someone said, well, okay, let me try to figure out an answer. I'm like, am I allowed to answer that? And I don't know. Since I don't know the answer, if I answer wrong, it may destroy my agenda. So wait a second, hold on. God, if I say if I say the wrong answer, it might make me look like I actually believe in climate change. So damn it. It was like that Jeopardy song was in her head, and she was like a deer caught in headlights.
Because again, after they were talking about the percentage, the percentage of the heat that's trapped by the Earth's oceans. She already said that there was uncertainty, and she was sure about that. And then he asked her again, but she took a moment. She was like, "Hold on, what did I say?" Yes.
No, you were too definitive. She didn't say it like that. She was not like that definitive. But if she's saying that there's uncertainty, in order to even claim that there's uncertainty, you have to know exactly like
you'd have to know the studies.
The studies, yeah.
You'd have to do a little bit more than like reading a headline and like read, because the way she said it, was like, I think I skimmed through something about that before. I don't know a lot about it, but I do know that there's not certainty on this issue. That I do know.
There's not consistency. There's not a consensus on something that I have no clue of.
Again, this is going to be, or this is who is trying to be the head of the top White House environmental position. Again, she was put there just to further an agenda, just to protect the fossil fuel industry. So yeah, we can laugh about it. People that have seen the video, they can laugh about it, have a good time with it.
But at the end of the day,
yeah, at the
this
end
is
of the day,
serious.
man,
like, this is
very serious.
You know what I'm saying? These appointees aren't just like, you know, he's not like appointing or, you know, assigning people to a hot dog stand or like a smoothie machine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These are positions that greatly affect policy and greatly affect our lives.
And you have people that have no business being in these positions,
but
actually heading them.
But we shouldn't talk about this, because if we do, we're not giving the administration a chance to fuck up.
Yeah, a chance to do what exactly? If you appoint somebody that has no business being in that position, that can't even answer simple questions that a person in that position should know about. Again, the senator knew more than she did. This is, like you said, like, this isn't appointing somebody to a hot dog stand. This isn't appointing somebody to be a teller at a bank. That might be a little bit too complicated as well, too. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do that.
That might be a little bit too complicated. But again, these are serious positions. And she has no capacity to even answer the basic questions that were asked to her. How many things do we like? How many different issues, appointments do we have to cover before people realize what they voted?
We don't like, yo, this is actually exhausting. Like, you think we want to sit up in here and look at all these unqualified individuals that have can have a serious impact on?
Again, we are in the first year. But let's talk about the Democrats for a second. Senator Elizabeth Warren. Now, after Donna Brazil's book, some excerpts from her book came out in which she did say that the primary was rigged. She said that she said that she had a emotional conversation with Bernie Sanders about that. She wanted to find the evidence.
What did she say? She was
hurt. Yeah, she was hurt, and she had to center herself.
Once she read those emails,
gospel music,
she gasped. So before she called Bernie, she had to center herself with gospel music. I don't know, maybe she had some chamomile tea too, to calm herself down. Yeah, because she had to tell Bernie.
Yeah, but she said, yeah, she had her suspicions, and she actually found the proof that something was awry. Something was stinking up the joint, and yeah, in fact, the Hillary Clinton campaign did in fact take control of the DNC. Now, after that, of course, she walked her comments back, just doing like cabbage.
She was doing like a reverse running man. She was like a
Roger Rabbit. Roger Rabbit. Yeah, that's what she was doing. And she kept doing that. She said that no, she never said the word rigged. And what she said was she found the cancer, but she wasn't gonna kill the patient, because of course they had to defeat Donald Trump, which they did not do. But anyway, Elizabeth Warren was asked by Jake Tapper about this, about the revelations that was made. Revelations.
I know you can't even say that word. You're like, what am I talking about?
Revelation. I think Jake Tapper probably used that word, but we already knew what was going down at that time. But anyway, yeah, Senator Elizabeth Warren was asked about this, and he asked her a point blank question of, did he believe that the primary process was rigged? And she said, yes. Very, very succinctly.
Yes. She said, yes.
And she was like, yeah. I mean,
yes. Like she was.
No doubt.
Definitive.
It wasn't like, maybe.
Yeah,
No. She used the word yes.
So what are you getting? So what happened with Elizabeth Warren? Don't tell me she did the same thing. Don't tell me she did the same thing. Don't tell me she did the Roger Rabbit too.
She had an interview with Mass Live, which is a website. She said, I agree with what Donna Brazile has said over the last few days, that while there was some bias at the DNC, the overall 2016 primary process was fair and Hillary made history. She said that on last Wednesday. We didn't pick that up on Thursday. We would talked about that on Thursday. We didn't pick that up. So there was some bias at the DNC, but the primary process was fair. How do you have bias at the impartial DNC
and fairness
overall?
No. That shouldn't be the question. The question is how does she definitively answer a very direct question with yes, and then come back with an answer that represents a complete 180. Not only is it a 180, it's a 180 with a contradiction added on.
Again, there was bias at the DNC, which, again, Donna Brazile can't hide from her own words because she put them in her own damn book. So she said that the DNC was totally overtaken by the Hillary Clinton campaign. Everything ran through Brooklyn, which was the headquarters for Hillary Clinton's campaign. Everything ran through Brooklyn. She said she found it. She said she was always confused by the fact that when she was trying to put out a press release, it always had to go through Brooklyn. That didn't raise her suspicions or anything like that. It was just like, oh, I wonder why that is. Anyway, but if the DNC was totally overtaken by the Hillary Clinton campaign before the primary process, because this agreement was reached in August of 2015, Hillary campaign and the DNC, are we to suspect that Hillary Clinton ran the DNC fairly during the primary process? Even after reading the emails
well, the question is
from
funny.
The DNC.
The question is funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
You're saying Hillary ran the DNC fairly.
Yeah.
She shouldn't be running it anyway. The fact that she's running it is not fair.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's crazy. We're living in a crazy world right now. One of the primary candidates running for the Democratic nomination was like, you know what? I'm not gonna. Please, you think I'm gonna like propel myself ahead of Bernie? No, this is about fairness. I know I took over the DNC, but this is about fairness here. I'm not gonna do anything nefarious here. I'm not gonna. Really? There was some bias at the DNC?
Like it's almost like they're trying to excuse the takeover because now they have to admit that was a takeover. I think it was a they were willing participants in the takeover, but let's say they Hillary Clinton campaign took it over, strong-armed them. They can't deny that now, right?
No.
So to still maintain the illusion of impartiality and not make their support of Hillary Clinton look fraudulent, they have to maintain two contradictory positions.
Yeah. Yeah.
She ran it, but it was fair.
No, hold on. Elizabeth Warner later, she later clarified her position. Okay, she said that the DNC.
You all right? Can you go on? Dog?
She said, okay. She said that the DNC was rigged. Now she clarified. So she clarified. She said the DNC was rigged, but not the primary process. No, hold on.
Yo, man.
Hold on. Who ran the primary process?
Wait. Can you repeat that?
She said the DNC was rigged because so that goes back to her original statement of yes, it was rigged, right?
I got that.
But then she said the primary process was not rigged. That was fair, and Hillary Clinton made history.
I mean, the primary process, DNC was rigged. But the primary, I'm trying to add. Yo, help me! I'm trying to. I'm trying to add this up.
Yeah, like for some reason, like this equation is coming out error.
Yo, can somebody in the chat help us out? Because we cannot figure this thing out. We cannot figure this thing out.
How do you rig the DNC? But that doesn't equate to the result being rigged. Like the like you like
you're trying to figure this like as like a Rubik's cube or something.
Like you added these two things together, right? And one corrupted it. Like one part corrupted this part because this wasn't corrupt, but Hillary Clinton, her adding that to DNC, corrupted it.
No, you making meatballs.
But see, like these two together, it creates a corrupt product, right? But then you add this corrupt product and then you add it to the primary process, but you come out pristine.
So
clean, fair.
So the DNC has nothing to do with the primaries. Nothing to do with it at all somehow. And again,
wow.
I'm trying to have it both ways.
Yeah. That might have been one of the best the best Roger Rabbits. The dance. Yeah, that might have been one of the best Roger Rabbits I've ever seen.
Yo, it was.
Yeah. Wow.
She was like, no. I don't even think what Donna Brazile did was a Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, that was complete.
What Elizabeth Warren did was like, she was doing the Reebok.
Yeah,
because she was in both directions. She was switching.
But she went back to original. Like her first statement was like, "No, I lied. It wasn't rigged." But then she was like, "No. Actually, no. I told the truth. I'm going back to my original statement. Yeah, it was rigged, but the result wasn't rigged."
Okay, Liz. All right. Okay. Now back into your padded room. Back into your padded room, Liz. It's okay.
And I mean, like, what's sad is that there are people out there that are like, yeah, what she said is absolutely correct.
That makes a lot of sense.
That makes correct. Yeah, Hillary Clinton did make history.
When I think a part of it
was fair.
Is partially it's not just like what we just stated as far as what's going on in her backtracking, but it's probably for her own sake, to save face as well.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, because she has to deal with these other Democrats, right?
She has to deal with these other Democrats, and she has to deal with the fact that she supported Hillary Clinton. After they kneecapped Bernie Sanders. So
and actually, how would it look going forward that the DNC as an institution rigged the process? How could you be a member of a party?
Exactly.
That officially kneecapped Bernie Sanders.
It wouldn't make sense for them to stay and still have a clean conscience.
No.
Or make themselves look like they had a clean conscience.
Right. They can't fully. They can't go that route. They can't go there and stay there and be like, you know what, this shit was as fraudulent as can be, and we need to do something about it. We can't let this happen again. No, they can't stay there. They have to say that, yeah, there was some bias, but the overall product was historical. Hillary Clinton as the first female Democratic nominee. No rigging.
Now, you know, I guess throughout the election cycle, throughout the primaries, and throughout the general election, we understood this to be true. We were both frustrated as voters, not just as individuals who offer commentary in regard to these things. Now, what did that cause us to do once Hillary Clinton won? And we knew that it was done in a fraudulent way. Did that somehow cause us to run to Donald Trump? Now, why didn't we run to Donald Trump? Why wasn't that our avenue? Huh? Because we were so frustrated with the, like, again, I think the people who should be the most frustrated are not Republicans, because they don't vote for Democrats. It's those who voted Democrat. The people who actually have the most frustration should be the Democrats. But did most individuals who exited the Democratic Party, most people, where'd they go? Or they say they exited. They said they wanted to exit. They still voted for Hillary Clinton.
Most did.
Most did.
Overwhelmingly.
So I'm just trying to figure out why that individuals who always have voted Republican make the claim that, yeah, see, the corruption, the Democrats and the Hillary and the DNC, that's why I voted for Trump. When most of the people who voted for Trump voted for McCain, voted for Mitt Romney, voted for Bush.
So what you're saying is that
they're just trying to come up
2016 was not an anomaly.
No.
It was the same old we see every single year. If it was different, we would have seen a lot more votes applied to third-party candidates. We saw added votes, but significant.
We saw a diminished voter turnout too.
Yes, we did.
Saw a diminished voter turnout.
Anyway, Senate Republican leaders are still discussing tax reform. And today, some breaking news. They plan to include repealing the Obamacare mandate. Repealing the Obamacare individual mandate. They plan on including that in their tax reform bill. So, I'm sure Senator Ted Cruz, he's been pushing for this for some time. He gets his wish. It seems like it's going to be done. I mean, they've been talking about it. Mitch McConnell says, yeah, I think that's a good way to go. So I was trying to figure out, like, why they want to do this, right? Not just because, of course, they want to get rid of Obamacare, anything that is tied to Obama, really. But it struck me because when we were talking about tax reform, and specifically how I think we were talking about the House bill at that time and how much it would add to the deficit, trillions of dollars over 10 years. And then even more after that, you were saying, right?
Yeah.
So when we were talking about that, we said that when that happens, you're gonna have to get 60 votes. You're gonna have to get 60 votes, not just a majority. You're gonna have to get 60 because so much money is being added to the deficit. So they were going to need Democratic support for this bill. So I don't think this equates to trillions of dollars. I don't believe so, repealing the Obamacare mandate. But, I don't know. It might. By repealing it, it'll raise an estimated $300 to $400 billion next year. Over the next year. So that might be a way for them to recoup some of that money so what they could just get a majority vote. They could just pass that with a simple majority. But I will say there have been Republicans that have said no, no, and no every time that they have tried to get rid of Obamacare. Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, Susan Collins from Maine, even John McCain from Arizona have said no. This isn't a good look for us.
But what are they trying to do to sell it though? They're trying to use the fact that it's going to, help the middle class. I think Tom Cotton said that repealing the mandate pays for more tax cuts for working families and protects them from being fined by the IRS for not being able to afford insurance that Obamacare made unaffordable in the first place. So he's trying to sell it as like, hey, this is going to help the middle class out.
Yeah, they think that the middle class can get more relief, more tax cuts.
You really think that's what it's for? But you know that's a lie, because like, what's the point in trying to say that that's unaffordable? The ACA is unaffordable. Like what? Like, why kind of throw that in there?
Well, they have to say that, because if it's unaffordable, then we need to do something else. Let's get rid of it, because this is not working. Premiums are going through the roof, deductibles, co-pays. This is not working. Let's get out of this, because so many people aren't happy with the ACA, Obamacare. Let's get up out of this thing.
Well, what's the reason people are unhappy about Obamacare or the ACA? It's not that we have the ACA, it's that it doesn't go far enough.
It doesn't go far enough. It doesn't help regular Americans as much as much as they want it to.
So when Republicans say people don't like Obamacare, it's not for the reasons that they're saying.
No, it's not.
Because if it was so unaffordable, right? Like, why was it so hard for Graham and Cassidy to get Republican support on the repeal? You know what I'm saying? If it's so, like, you know what I'm saying? I wonder what people who have pre-existing conditions say about the affordability of the Affordable Care Act. And if the Affordable Care Act is unaffordable, wouldn't that make Medicaid unaffordable too, seeing as the ACA is a Medicaid expansion?
Now,
don't they get health care through the government?
Yeah, they do.
I wonder if they think it's unaffordable.
Now,
or unaffordable.
But if they are successful at repealing the Obamacare mandate, now healthcare will be very expensive. Like, you're saying that the reason people don't want it is because it's too expensive, right? They're making it seem like that's the reason to kill it. But by killing it, premiums are going to rise even more. Deductibles will rise even more, because it's going to be the sick people. I mean, no, it's going to be the healthy people that get off of it. The sick people are going to stay because, of course, they want that coverage. Well, they'll stay for a while until it gets to be too high to where they can't afford it anymore. But, of course, they want their pre-existing conditions covered. There's going to be every reason for them to stay on their healthcare plan. But for people that feel like they don't want a healthcare plan, like they don't need it.
Yeah, we agree. I mean, who is Bram SL1? Yeah, we agree. It is still too expensive. But before the ACA, the rates were going up, right? And now after the ACA was passed, the rates were still going up, but they weren't going up as quick. So the problem with the ACA was not that it just slowed it down. It just didn't go far enough. We're just saying that, like, the ACA doesn't go far enough, and the Republicans wanting to repeal it, they're not repealing it because of that. No. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to repeal it because they know it to be a big gift to the insurance companies.
But by killing it, like I said, insurance premiums are just going to skyrocket. And the people that get up off of it, if they're able to extend these short-term healthcare plans, yeah, they'll take advantage of those, but they won't be as comprehensive. If something happens to where they need a procedure, it might not be covered. They're going to be in a worse position than when the Obamacare mandate was intact. This is not a good situation. So we'll see how it plays out. But it looks like it's going to be included in this tax reform bill. And that might be their way to get around having to get Democratic support on it.
We'll see when we'll see what the CBO says. We'll have to see what the CBO says.
Well, of course, I mean, they're gonna say it's gonna save money, because of course it will. Of course it'll save money.
We'll see. I think it's still trying to insert this repeal as it might be a poison pill.
And like I said, and then you have to be concerned with the Republicans that said that they wouldn't sign off on killing Obamacare four times this year.
And so again, can we account for that?
So even if you didn't have to get Democratic support, you couldn't lose three Republicans.
Exactly. You still have to have all the Republicans, and I don't think they will.
It looks like they got a problem. A 12-year-old girl in Colorado is suing the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions. Why? Is because she believes that The federal prohibition on medical marijuana is unconstitutional. Now, her name is Alexis Bortel, and she uses a strain of cannabis oil called Haley's Hope. Yeah, she uses it for her seizures, to keep her seizures at bay. She was telling Fox 31 in Denver.
I think she has like epilepsy or some joint like that.
So obviously it helps her. And man, come on, we've seen this all across the country. How I saw a video just yesterday where cannabis oil was applied to the gums of a little boy that was undergoing a seizure. He was fully engaged in the seizure, shaking, and they applied the cannabis oil, rubbed it into his gums, and within about a minute and a half, 2 minutes or so, he calmed down. Now, we have to understand that marijuana, what is it classified as right now? Schedule 1? Schedule 1 drug. So you're telling me that it has no medical value whatsoever. It's a Schedule 1 drug. It's worse than heroin, meth, cocaine. Really? Marijuana?
I think this is this kind of lawsuit is to make a point.
No, it's definitely to make a point.
Because
that's what she wants to do.
Because think about this. I mean, this could set a big precedent, or I wouldn't necessarily say a precedent, but this could be something that's going to be talked about. And Jeff Sessions is going to have to stand up in court, and say, even though this, oil doesn't make you high, it's still illegal, even though it, prevents your seizures. Sorry. We're still going to maintain this federal mandate. I don't care about your seizures.
Exactly.
Even though it doesn't make you high, because see that, remember, because him specifically, and not just him, but since he's in the position he is in, he I guess represents, the figurehead to attitudes about marijuana like this. Like, he does have this kind of idea that marijuana is like something something's morally wrong with you.
Yeah, it's so dangerous.
It's dangerous.
Like I said, it's a Schedule 1 drug. It has no medical value whatsoever.
But guess what? I don't even care even if it does get you high. If it has
medical value, then it's appropriate, right? Look, she came from Texas. She moved to Colorado because of this, because of her condition. Her family moved her to Texas because it's legal in Colorado. In Texas, the possibility of brain surgery was discussed for this girl. But now that she's in Colorado, where cannabis oil is legal, she's able to use that and keep her seizures at bay.
And I'm totally sure if she would have had to get that surgery, there's no telling. I don't know what kind of insurance they had.
True, but it would have been.
It would have been very expensive.
You know that. So yeah, let's get Jeff Sessions up in this courtroom and try to tell this little girl, this 12-year-old girl, that brain surgery was a better route for her than using cannabis oil.
But there's somebody who's probably, making money off that brain surgery, though.
Of course. And they haven't found out a way to profit off of marijuana yet, right? Like, I guess nationally, because it's legal in some form in 29 states. Either fully or the medical use of marijuana is legalized.
Jeff Sessions might as well put on a Jigsaw costume. You want to play a game from Saw? Because that's what it looks like to me, man. He looks like somebody who is one of those. He presents himself as like this benevolent torturer. You know what I'm saying? That it's like he constantly holds these morals over people's head, even though they're going through pain. You know what I'm saying? Like he is like this gatekeeper, and I think it's just it's I would say it's horrific, but that's not putting it on him. I think he's just a very a person that lacks empathy. You know what I'm saying?
You would think with new information, a person would be caused to change their opinion, change their stance on any number of given issues.
He's a horrible person, so it's like he won't. I think we're past the point to giving these people cover because of ignorance. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Oh no, he does. The former commissioner of the NBA, David Stern. Now, back in the day, he was soundly against marijuana. Don't use it. It's in the policy. He's even come forward nowadays and said that he believes the NBA should take it off the books. No, he shouldn't ban it anymore. The old commissioner, David Stern. It was what was his name? Harrington. I can't remember his first name, but he's in the marijuana business right now. He used to play for Indiana Pacers. Al Harrington. You remember?
Yeah, I remember Al.
He's in the marijuana business now, and he interviewed David Stern, and he was shocked by his answer, saying that he thinks it's time for it to not be banned anymore. It makes all the sense in the world. Like,
yeah, because if alcohol is not banned, and that is linked to tons of diseases,
tons of deaths.
If that's not something that's banned,
yes,
it makes no sense.
But see, that's logical. Like, anybody that smoked a cigarette, right? It's not like cigarettes do nothing. They do something to your brain. Like, people use it to calm down. People use it to relax. It does something to you. Black and Miles, I remember back in high school smoking Black and Miles, and it does something to you. It kind of calms you out a little bit. So these products are already legal. I mean, alcohol. Some people it calms them down. Some people it energizes, but it alters your state of mind, right? In some capacity, it alters your state of mind. These products are already legal in the United States, but you're saying that marijuana is so dangerous? Really?
Well, I mean, I think most people
more dangerous than heroin.
Yeah, I think most people can point to why that is. You know, you already got people in the comment section sounding off with stuff that you know everybody knows is a conflict of interest, and and that's the war on drugs, because it's like Grandma Christine says, yes, profit. So yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah, so yeah,
it's all about money, not about the best interest of the American people. Again, I doubt Jeff Sessions will be forced to testify. I don't know.
I hope he is, unless he's going to try to get somebody to do his dirty work for him. Because he don't want to sit up there and looking like Jigsaw.
No,
I want to play a game.
No, but yeah, that is a. Come on, man. How bad of a human being could you be? Seriously. This one, if this little girl, 12-year-old, if she stayed in Texas, possible route was brain surgery. Now that she's in Colorado, she can use cannabis oil.
Yeah, 2-Bit Rasputin. That's true. That's true. These markets are in competition with each other, and these so-called free market capitalists, they don't believe in that shit. But yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, they are keeping weed illegal.
Like I said, they got to find a way to profit on this thing first. They haven't done that yet. Let's see where we're gonna go to next. Oh yeah, YouTube. YouTube
clamping down even further.
Yeah, so YouTube is cracking down on videos posted to the site. So now they're removing content that doesn't even show violence. So before, I believe it was in June, they had made it they had made it known that they were going to start clamping down on extremist videos. Videos that proclaimed the extremist position or showed some violence or anything like that. They were taking those videos off of YouTube, off of the platform. But recently there was I guess some waves being made notable, because they took down a video of an Al-Qaeda recruiter by the name of Anwar Al-Awlaki, I believe, yeah. Awlaki.
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 Yeah.
Awlaki. Whatever, like that. All right. Anyway, they took down a video, like I said, that didn't show any violence or anything like that. And I guess the problem is, and we've noticed it too, and we've said something about that before, how it seems like they want to stop any kind of controversial video from being monetized or even being shown on YouTube.
So they're using the term like extreme content or content that is maybe sensitive to some viewers, but what they really mean is controversial content,
right?
Which kind of puts a blanket over a lot of different material that's shared on that platform.
Yes, and see, this is being defined by them. So, like, of course, our reasonable question would be, what's extremist? What's controversial? What is subject to being taken off of YouTube, and what is subject to be what is subject to a video not being able to be monetized?
Yeah,
as well.
like, and what's the enforcement mechanism too? That's what I want to know. Like, what and how are they going to enforce this? Because that is not something that you can. There's not like an algorithm that you can use other than a keyword algorithm.
Keywords they can use, yeah.
But that's not going to define like what's extreme or not. This is what YouTube had a problem with before.
True,
like
because we could have a video that said something about Al Qaeda.
Yeah,
but it wouldn't be
like for instance,
we're supporting Al Qaeda.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe we're talking about what happened.
Exactly, that was the problem with a lot of videos getting demonetized, where it would kind of lump videos that, let's say, were people were advocating, you know, like let's say like white nationalists, like Nazis, white nationalists, or you know, people who had sympathy, like KKK sympathies, and they were talking reckless, right? Well, those were getting lumped in with videos that were talking about that type of attitude, so they weren't differentiating.
No. And like I said, we've noticed this in many of the videos that we post, all the live videos that we post. Pretty much every single one of them are not being able to be monetized, and a lot of different YouTube streamers, a lot of different YouTube creators are experiencing the same thing. So it's a problem. It's definitely a problem, and again, it seems like it's only going to be exacerbated by whatever definition that YouTube has about what is controversial.
And like I said, I just don't. I mean, I know there are certain cases where we have had to challenge monetization.
Yeah.
But
you can only do that. You can only challenge it if the video that you have uploaded has over 1,000 views. If it doesn't have over 1,000 views, and they're not going to do anything.
And guess what? That's like, again, that's like the fox guarding the hen house, because they can control the distribution of your video since they're in control of the platform. So they can effectively keep your video under 1,000 views so you can't challenge the monetization. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, like, are they going to have, again, I mean, how many uploaders and how many videos are out there? Billions. Billions. I mean, how can you how do you monitor that?
But like we said, if they can use just like a keyword system to where if you say something about Trump, if you say something about war, or any one of these keywords, if you just have that word in the title, they're automatically going to ding it and say this cannot be monetized. Then you would have to take the extra step of saying that, hey, hold on, there's nothing controversial about this. I want a review conducted.
Oh, well, you don't have 1,000 views.
You don't have 1,000 views, so sorry, you're small time. We're not going to be helping you. Like I said, that's why the creative situation in YouTube
even
has
the kind of the parameters surrounding who can challenge favors I guess those bigger platforms.
No doubt. Yeah, like I said, and I think it's only gonna get, like I said, we've talked about that before. What kind of videos do they like? Prank videos,
gaming videos,
food,
music videos,
stuff that you don't have to think about. That stuff that does not promote any type of critical thought or anything like that, or a difference of opinion, really. Stuff that's just like you can just ingest it and say, hey, yeah, I like this, or maybe I don't like it. I'm gonna click it off.
Throwaway.
Yeah.
Throwaway things.
Just throwaway stuff. Like I said, that doesn't produce any type of like real feelings, like that gets you engaged with the community or the world or anything like that. Nah, they don't want that.
Yeah, I agree. There is a risk of destroying the platform, 2-Bit Rasputin. It doesn't make sense. But again, oppression and suppression doesn't make sense, and they are willing to invest in it. That's why it actually does make sense. It doesn't make sense because you're thinking about it logically, 2-Bit. You're thinking about it logically. The same way we talk about how there's an actual extra cost to police abusing their power. But again, this whole, this police state, they're investing money and energy into it. So even though it feels like they're investing all this time and energy and money into it, and it looks like they're losing something, at the end of the day, they gain power and they gain, they gain the, they have the benefit of people being afraid to speak up. You know what I'm saying? So you're thinking about it too logically. You know what I'm saying?
This is why platforms like Patreon are so important right now, and are important to us as well. And that's why we upload our videos to Patreon now, because we do need an income stream to make this possible. And we definitely appreciate all of our patrons, everybody that supports us monetarily, because like I said, we need that. We used to be able to get that primarily from YouTube, but really not anymore, and we see why. So again, shout out to all of our patrons that help us, and if you do want to contribute, there is the link right there, patreon.com/LTMB. Let's see what we got to get to now. Let's see. Barcelona, Catalonia. It's getting thick, as if it wasn't already thick. So on Saturday, there was a large protest, a rally of Catalans protesting and wanting the release of several political prisoners. These prisoners that in some way and somehow were, I guess, liable for spearheading the separatist agenda, for spearheading the independence talks and facilitating the vote. Several of these people have been jailed, put in jail in Barcelona. And so Catalan people, the people that want independence, they rallied, they protested. Now, this is what I want to say about this too, right? America doesn't know anything about protesting, man.
Yo, man.
America doesn't know a damn thing about protesting. There were
over 700,000?
A quarter of a million. No, three-quarters of a million people present at this rally, at this protest. 750,000 people. Like, picture that. 750,000 people all together for a united purpose. The United States ain't got nothing. Nothing on Catalonia, man. Straight up. Imagine if we could get together like that, man. We saw the same thing. Now I don't know if it was 750,000, but in South Korea, when they were trying to get the president to step down, massive people in the streets, massive people. We do not have that here.
I don't think it was that many people. I mean, it was a lot of people for like the little anti-Trump rallies, but
yeah.
But to me, that's
different places.
That's a different places.
Yeah, they were all spread out.
And it seemed to me like, okay, I understand, what point they were trying to make, but it just seemed to be like against Trump seemed to be too focused, and that was just too tunnel vision-y for me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and then we have to think about like when it happened too, because this was inauguration day you're talking about, right?
Exactly.
He hadn't even done anything.
He hadn't done anything yet.
Like, yeah, we can be you can be anti-Trump about the way he conducted his campaign, the things that he said, the things that you thought he was going to do, but at that moment in time, he hadn't done a damn thing.
So basically what you're saying is there's probably more of reason to be anti-Trump now than there was on January 20th.
No doubt.
Okay.
Yeah, like hold a march like that. Do like a protest rally like that. Get 750,000 people together in one place. Oh yeah, that's gonna make some news. I mean, that's gonna be real impactful. But yeah, so I guess after this protest or during the protest, I don't know which what. No, actually it said the Supreme Court did release on bail Catalan's parliament speaker, this woman named Carme Forcadell, and 4 other lawmakers who, again, were very impactful in organizing the independence vote. And another lawmaker was released on bail. So, well, the release on bail came with some stipulations. So, Forcadell, who, again, she is the Catalan's parliament speaker, she had to renounce any role in future independence efforts. So the vote that's going to be taking place on December 21st, she can't have any part of that as it relates to trying to win support for the independence movement.
But see, the separatist groups have already said they're going to vote like pretty much in line with what they already, you know what I'm saying? They're going to vote for, you know, I guess in favor of independence.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, we said that it's a good chance that we have the same exact result as what we had before, that the party that wins is going to be a separatist party. So again, at that point, I know, you know, we're about a month away from that, just a little bit over a month away from that, but at that point, what is Madrid going to do? Because this is not a situation that they want. So I mean, what then do you do? This is obviously not going anywhere. And 750,000 people organizing together.
Yeah. You're not just dealing with like trying to fight members of parliament now.
Again, see, the parliament was reflective of the will of the people. It was the people that put them in power. And again, through all this controversy, the vote taking place and dispersing all those thousands of cops on the area and all the violence that we saw, the injuries, I think they're pushing more and more people towards independence than pulling them back.
And I think Madrid is trying to, I guess, frame their central argument around the illegality of unconstitutional and kind of trying to focus on Parliament. Oh, they were wrong for calling for independence because of the Constitution.
It's kind of like they're just putting it on Parliament and not the people.
That's purposeful. That's purposeful because obviously if you are going against the will of millions of people, and I'm pretty sure that the individuals that were there were just a fraction of individuals that, you know, were for independence.
Right.
So if they become the face, then it makes Madrid look really bad.
I believe the people that participated in the independence vote, it was 43% of Catalonia. And of that 43% that voted, it was like 90% that voted for independence.
I think, like I said, I think we've said this before. All Madrid is doing is increasing the likelihood of Catalan's voter base increasing. You know what I'm saying? And increasing on behalf of independence.
Oh, and you know, another thing, Madrid, the central government, they're saying Russia did it. They're saying Russia did it. They're saying that Russia interfered in their political business and that Russia aided the effort in the voting, the independence voting.
Wonder how many Facebook ads they sent Spain's way.
They said they have they have proof. They said they have proof.
You know what, man? See,
but the party, the party, like Carlos Puigdemont, his party is saying, man, get out of here, man. Russia ain't have nothing to do with this. Even if they did send like an ad or anything like this had to do with us. Like, this had nothing to do with them. What are you talking about? And I think they kind of flipped it in some way. They said they have more to do with like Madrid than anything else or something like that.
So basically, if anybody's being influenced by Russia, it would be Madrid. Is that what he's saying? Okay.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah.
But why would it see?
Russia did it.
See, again, when you throw something out there like that has no merit, it may be the fact that maybe some guilty tinglings themselves. There's another case where it's like I'm not going out of my way to defend Russia or Putin, but dang, they almost make you. They almost make you.
I know, straight up.
Because I'm definitely not down with Putin, but dang.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, but like you have to understand that
Russia ate my homework.
Yeah,
with their terror break.
Like these people, like you were saying, Madrid is giving the people of Catalonia every reason to say, "I want out of here."
Yeah, because if
it's not Russia,
if 93% of the 43% that voted want independence, I guarantee you that number will increase. Not only the number of people are going to vote again,
yes,
the number probably might go up to the mid 90s.
Like,
so
have some culpability, you know? Don't just blame Russia. Like, you have proof. Okay, like I said, they said they have proof. All right, put it out there. What proof that do you have that Russia interfered or Russia did anything? That's one. But two, if Russia, because this is all about social media, so if they did put some ads out there, share some posts or anything like that, I don't like, again, are you discounting the fact that the people actually want to secede from Spain? Like, how does that it doesn't make their objective any less. Like, they still want to do what they want to do. They still want gone.
Maybe that's a sign that they really run out of reasons to allow Catalonia to gain their independence. When you start blaming Russia, now where was that at the beginning?
Yeah, where was
that at the beginning?
Why is that now?
Why are they trying to use that as some sort of like, I don't know,
yeah,
like I'm pulling this out my back pocket.
Yeah,
like I would
bring
think
that up now.
Yeah, why bring that up now? That kind of tells me that they are running out of ammunition. They're running out of reasons. That seems like desperation to me.
I don't know, man. Like I said, this is coming to a head December 21st. We'll see what the new elections say. And again, it's going to be real interesting if the Separatist Party wins yet again. It's going to be real interesting to see what Madrid does at this point. Are they going to say, all right, all of you are expelled as well, and we're going to have new elections in January until we get this damn thing right?
You know what? You joking.
You know?
You joking, but I can actually see that happening. I'm telling you, I can see that happening. You joking, but
I know
I can see that happening.
That would be a horrible look.
But are they kind of are they really I guess it doesn't look like they care about looking bad right now, so
no, they don't. They don't, because they look horrible. They look absolutely horrible. All it would have took was you actually coming to the table. Like, forget that. Like, forget the fact that you say it's unconstitutional. Yeah, as it's written, yeah, it's unconstitutional. But there's a significant need for dialogue. So why don't you actually sit down and go about the business of actually talking these problems out? Because again, they could have immediately after the vote said, "We are independent. We're done. We're done with this. We're out." But they didn't do that. They wanted to talk about it. Madrid's like, nah, we ain't talking about shit. We ain't talking about a damn thing. Making you look bad, man. All right, anybody wants to call into the programs, 803-450-0698. Russia got me so sleepy today, I took a nap and didn't do the laundry. I wonder how far this is gonna go, like Russia. Like how much? You know what? We didn't even talk about that. But the RT.
Oh yeah,
RT America.
They're forcing them to register as a foreign entity,
as a foreign agent. As a foreign agent. RT America. Well, it's the production company that's being forced to be registered as a foreign agent. The production company for RT America. And this is the only media. This is the only media link, or like the only media platform that has been forced to become or be forced to register as a foreign agent. Like, it's like, why are y'all doing, like, y'all are doing too much now. Y'all are doing way too much. Like I know a lot of people, because I remember a video that we put out. It was this very, I can't even remember what the video was about, but I included a link or a clip of an RT segment where a host was talking about like the Bernie blackout, how much time Bernie got as it compares to Hillary and Donald Trump. This host was not talking about his opinion. This host was not talking about Russia or anything like that. This host was talking about a like a diagram like that showed how much coverage Bernie got and how much coverage the other two candidates got. And people were mad that we included that clip because, you know, RT is all about Russia and promoting propaganda and like really?
Maybe, but look at our news networks.
Propaganda much, right? But yeah, now they had until December 13th to register as a foreign agent, and they did so because it was either they were going to go the legal route or do it. And if they went the legal route, the head of Russia Today, I believe, would have had to, or actually they might have been arrested, and their funds might have been seized, or not seized, but I guess captured. Oh no, the same thing. Yeah, seized or whatever. It would have made it extremely hard to actually produce any shows. So, like I said, they went ahead and registered as a foreign agent. I don't know what that actually does. Like, what does that actually do? Like, okay, they're a foreign agent now. I think they're only doing that so that people would be led to believe like, oh, okay, we can't trust you because you're a foreign agent.
You have some ulterior motives behind all your reporting.
There's not anything like that's going to happen because of this. Like they can't do X, Y, and Z anymore. It's just that I guess. Like I said, they want people that watch RT America. They want them to know that they are a Russian agent and they are not acting in the interest of America. They're actually acting against America.
That's what, like, the whole, you know, having them register as a foreign agent is supposed to do. So,
but then again, okay, because we saw this story, but I didn't see it. It wasn't like plastered on the front page of anywhere. So how is the audience going to become aware of this? You don't have any answers.
Maybe that's just something they'll throw in there when they want to kind of question some reporting. Oh, you know they're a foreign agent, right?
Possibly.
So who knows?
Possibly. Like, are they gonna have to like put something on the screen that says foreign agent?
Foreign agent.
Now or something.
I don't know. I gotta look into that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to dive into that a little bit more.
Because there's got to be some like more
like any kind of restrictions.
There's got to be
like
some more. There's got to be a more visible reason, something that people could kind of visually reference.
Yeah, that
would kind of point them out as such.
Right. Because I didn't see anything. It didn't make any sense to me. Like, unless, like you said, if a politician or media, you know, a commentator or something like that, if they do reference RT, then they say, well,
your sources is your foreign agent.
Yeah,
source. Your source is a foreign agent.
So you're anti-American.
So you're anti-American.
Man. Maybe they should make Trump register as a sex offender.
Boy, y'all crazy.
So Mary said, so the argument really is about them covering subjects that would have Americans question more, which is their slogan.
Right.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I believe the editor-in-chief of RT, she, I think in responding to this, not this request, this demand, she said that she didn't like quote how much I believe the Russian government contributes to like their funding or something like that. But she said that there is, I mean, they do contribute to the funding of RT. But okay, all right. Does that trickle down to? I mean, like, does that mean that RT America is operating against America?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, you know, just on the surface, I don't. I mean, they have a lot of, you know, stories and I guess commentary that kind of, you know, questions American politics, politics over here in the States. But that's no different. But that's no different than any other. I mean, the BBC does too.
That's true.
Al Jazeera.
They're not mandated to.
So
Russian,
you know what I'm saying. So that's not really that's not really anything special.
Agent.
Just because a news organization has something to say about another country, I mean that's over here too.
Yeah.
I mean we
talk about
different countries.
Talk about North Korea all the time, right?
Matter of fact, our media tends to create enemies out of other countries and try to kind of perpetuate people's fear of those countries. So whatever.
I did see that. I believe it was the editor-in-chief of RT that said there might be a reciprocal action, like so media in Russia, American media might be blocked or something like that, or what have you. I don't know to what degree, but she said there's gonna be an action.
Well, I mean, they have a right not to feel like they're being bullied. So
true. Yeah. Anybody got any questions about anything, or any questions or comments about anything we've said, or anything else that's going on in the news? We have a few minutes.
Who's Nish?
Who?
Nish recently talked about seeing an RT commercial making fun of the stuff about them. What's that?
Nish?
Huh. What is there to be thankful for this year?
Life, always. Straight up. You're still breathing. No doubt.
Well, I mean, I think that what I'm always thankful for, not just this year, is the fact that I know that there are a lot of people out there that are awake. I really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily they have to be like-minded, but I know not just in this country but across the globe that there are different forms of I guess I don't know, like different forms of independent thought being formed, or what you could say, people waking up to certain circumstances, certain realities. I'm thankful for that, and I guess the reason why it doesn't change from year to year because it grows. So obviously I'm going to be more thankful for it every year because I see more. You know what I'm saying? So I'm exposing myself to more.
That's just, I guess, to piggyback on that. That's why I say life, you know? Like, just the simple fact that we are alive and breathing, we have the opportunity to make change, you know? No matter how hard it is, no matter how out of sight that change might be, we at least have the opportunity, you know? If we keep breathing, if we keep moving, if we keep organizing and spreading our thoughts and organizing, we have the ability to affect change. Might be hard, might not be in the, you know, in our view right now, but again, as long as we have life in us, gotta keep going.
Yeah, you know, I think, like, I guess going forward with this endeavor, this platform, I think it has kind of forced me into, I wouldn't say into a corner, but in a direction that kind of puts me in touch with a lot of people who are doing a lot of good things. And so this platform kind of, like, just my personal experience has kind of put me in contact with a lot of people who are doing good things out there. People who I wouldn't have known unless I was engaged socially on this platform. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like just so I know there's a lot of people I would not have met, in a lot of spaces I would not have been, I guess, I don't know, exposed to, if I wouldn't kind of engage in this platform.
Because as humanity grows, you know, as conscience grows, like we grow too, you know, just doing this. We grow in this profession, we grow as humans, just doing this day to day, just being aware of what's going on. It's forced us to grow. You can't do this and not grow. Well, I think on the surface, it would seem like people don't grow. But being aware of the different circumstances in life, all the different things that ail us and all the things that we have to deal with, there's no way you can't grow.
Jeremy Popliski says, LTMB, if YouTube pulls your plug, do you have a backup plan? I guess that would be a website. That would be the website. That would be the backup. Or, you know, maybe another platform. You know, like, again, and I think, who was it that raised that point? That was 2-Bit Rasputin, about how YouTube might be killing their own platform. Again, that may create a vacuum for another platform that already hosts videos. So who knows?
There's different platforms out there. I mean, there's even Facebook that we can stream from. Like we said, we're not making we're making peanuts right now on YouTube. It's barely nothing.
Peanut shells.
peanut shells. Like empty peanut shells that have already been discarded.
We don't even got the little skin in there. There's not even no skin left.
Yeah, because like I said, them being able to just pull the monetization from the videos, from all the videos, pretty much. Basically, every single video that we upload, every single live stream that we do, is not able to be monetized. You know, the only benefit to doing this is that it's so easy for people to find us. We already have a following here on YouTube, so it's just easy right now. But yeah, there are other platforms out there. Facebook, there's Twitter. Like I said, you know, we have the website. We have to find some kind of streaming tool that we would use, some kind of streaming software that we would able to be streaming from. But yeah, there's options out there. You know, we're not going anywhere. And then Mary said, yeah, my understanding is that you can watch video directly from Patreon, not live. Not live. You can't watch it directly from Patreon live. That is an option, though. If we did want to do that, you could do that. But we haven't done that. It's just on YouTube, and then for the first 30 minutes is on Facebook. Yeah, Vimeo.
I was about to say, yeah, Vimeo too.
Yeah,
but it's paid subscription.
You was just gonna have to pay to watch it from now on. Yeah, because what we do right now too is for a little while we'll keep the last live stream on YouTube, but then we'll pull it off and just put it on Patreon for our paid contributors. So yeah. You're like the live Ernie and Bert. I think it's Bert and Ernie, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I think it is Bert and Ernie.
And then it's Bert with an E too, I believe, right? Isn't it Bert with an E?
I don't remember.
I think it's Bert.
I don't remember.
I always thought it was Bert with an E.
I don't remember. I can't remember. It might be. That was too long ago, man.
Appreciate that. Yeah, you can hit us up on Patreon whenever. We appreciate it if you can. If you cannot, we appreciate that you're here and commenting and contributing to the program. All right. Well, all right. I think we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah, man, we're gonna get out of here. Head over to Facebook for about 15 minutes, 2 hours.
Somewhere in between.
Hopefully we'll be on there for about 30 minutes. But.
Yeah. How is the live streaming on Twitter? Like the what is it called? It's called
No, it's called No, you talking about Instagram.
No, I'm talking
Which one
about,
is a Periscope? Which
yeah, that's
one?
Twitter.
Periscope? That's Twitter?
Yeah,
Okay, that must be
Periscope.
Periscope. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, we might have to, we'll try to look into that.
Yeah. I see Anoa. Anoa is on Twitter sometimes on Periscope doing that.
Anoa is doggone those are her, that's her territory.
Yeah. She
be in them Twitter streets, man. Like,
shout out
if you
to
don't
Anoa.
yo, I don't know how she does that, but she's everywhere.
Yeah. Like
she has eyes everywhere on Twitter. I don't know.
We get on Twitter rarely. But we were on Twitter well, I won't say a lot last year, but it's just like another thing that you have to pay attention to and broadcast some stuff. Like, it's got to be different stuff too, and I don't even think about it. Like, if something happens, you would think you'd be like, okay, let me put some, like, my initial reaction on Twitter. I don't think about that.
Yo, dog, I know my mind never goes there.
Nah,
I'm like, let me get on Twitter.
We shoot each other a message, and then that's it.
Yeah, usually it's us messaging back and forth.
Yeah, never put it on Twitter, pretty much. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we need to kind of start that.
Yeah. But anyway, we're gonna head out of here. Like I said, I think the stream kind of busted up a little bit for a second.
Yeah, it looks a little shaky. Yeah, because it was red.
Yeah,
the health was red, so it's gonna be choppy.
All right, I think it's back. All right. Well, we were just talking about Twitter anyway. It wasn't about nothing.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna go on Facebook for a little bit. Everybody that joined in, we appreciate it. Appreciate all the comments. Didn't get a caller for the first time in a little while.
Oh, see, Rasputin, why you see, man? You know what? I was thinking about him today, and I was thinking about him at a few moments in the live show, and here you go. Maybe that's my conscience, man. Because let's just say I've actually commented on his YouTube videos, and but see, I'm not under my name on YouTube, so he didn't know it was me. But I was like, bump this. He posted some bull crap on Facebook, and so I commented right under, probably one of the first comments. I commented on about 3 of his posts. He didn't respond. I mean, he's a busy dude. He got stuff going on, so I wasn't surprised. But yeah,
are you still seeing Clinton stuff? Don't even answer that. November 2017.
I'm not even going to answer that.
November 2017, man.
We have Trump confirming, or Trump nominating.
Yeah. Unqualified
individuals.
Yeah.
You have all these House bills that take away things from Americans. You have him pardoning Joe Arpaio. You have him, with the transgender ban. You know what I'm saying? You have him attempting to use the Department of Justice to go after political opponents. I mean, you have all these things that he's doing. There's a lot of things to cover. You have him trying to gut the EPA. You just have, like, at every stage, he's doing the wrong thing. Mary said
that Tim Black said he's gone right, and they decided to part ways. Is that right?
Interesting.
I haven't seen Tim Black.
Well,
if you, I
haven't. Yeah, I know.
But they usually are on a lot. Like the what is it called? The
No Sellouts.
No Sellouts. Yeah, they usually do it together.
Like with all the, it's not. And the thing is about this Trump is not. It's not actually. I think to call it controversy would be an understatement. There's actually a lot of very important issues to cover with this administration. Issues that actually could directly affect American people that do, and he's just inept. But yet HA still chooses to cover Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Hillary Clinton ad nauseum. That's literally 100. I would say 5%. That's literally 100% of all of his content now.
But we know that topic is sexy.
We know that topic.
We know that people. We know that people have such a distaste for the DNC and Deborah Wasserman Schultz and Hillary Clinton. We saw just that effort just this past weekend, just this past weekend with the the DNC fraud protests.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how people wanted to gather in Washington D.C. for that, and it just like we understand the distaste. It just seems that the people that are so done and fed up with the Democratic Party are still interested in kind of trying to like point the finger at them. Like, when if you're done with them, you should be like being done with. You should be like done with them and trying to like work against them. Not saying that you did this, we need you gone, we need you to be better. Or I don't know what the overarching message is here. Like, if you're done with the Democratic Party, like, be done.
Well, I see what you're getting at. The problem I have with I guess, like, as long as you're not doing that exclusively, and that's the problem I have with H.A. Goodman.
That's the problem.
He's dealing with Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the Alwan brothers, Clinton Foundation. And he still uses the clickbait, like what does he say? Like immediate, like impending. What's one of the words he uses?
Hillary Clinton to be charged. I mean, it assumes something that is actually not happening. That's what the title suggests.
Imminent.
Imminent.
Hillary Clinton indictment imminent, and all these things. And I'm like, yo, man. And I think he.
And by now, you know, like when you
breaking, breaking.
When you see the title, you're like, okay, this is not.
And the thing is, again, you can't completely control your audience. We know this. You can't completely control your audience, but I think at some point, like, your comment sections and your audience do tend to reflect what you put out. Like, so if 99% of all the comments are pro-Trump on your videos, there's a problem with how you're covering things. Because now you're not really anti-establishment. You're just trying to cater to people's need to take sides.
But see, look, man. We were just talking about this earlier. We're outside of election season. We're outside of a presidential election campaign. So interest in politics always dies down after presidential elections. So if you want to stay relevant as a platform, then you got to do things to draw interest. Now, continuously hitting on the Democratic Party and Hillary Clinton, there's always going to be an audience for that. There's always going to be an attitude for that. I mean, or appetite for that. We see different platforms engaging in conspiracy theory. That doesn't make any sense. It's like, that's all they do now. There's always going to be an audience for that. People are always going to have an appetite to say, like, oh, it's the government. The government can't be trusted. Look at that. Look at that. The official story, the official narrative is not making sense. This and that. Poke holes. Like, you have to, like, these creators have to do things to keep themselves relevant. They can't just talk about, like you see us. We're not going that route. We don't have the same numbers that we did last year.
Yeah, but we're not going to, like, try to kind of I guess search for a product to sell.
Nah.
And essentially, if you are still, again, we're not saying don't talk about the DNC at all, don't talk about Hillary Clinton at all, but if that represents 95 to 100% of your content, I think your priorities are fucked up. And I think you're doing that for a purpose, because that is perfect for individuals who don't want to accept the fact that Trump is a con man. Why cover that? They're disappointed. Pointing that out is not going to draw no audience. So what you do is you deflect onto parties that you know that they hate. Instead of talking about, the corruption, whether it be financially of the Trump administration, him I guess divesting, his questionable choices, his potential appointees, the financial stake he has in a lot of decisions he's made, the furthering of favors being done for the rich, all these things that people hated Clinton for. these individuals who are trying to cater to Trump supporters, they're not talking about those things. And I think that's what H.A. Goodman has, the direction he has gone into. And that's reflected in his comment section.
Look,
so
if we, speaking just for me, if I ever feel the need to, in essence, sell out, you'll see me on Fox News. I will be the black conservative on Fox News, espousing everything conservative and being paid handsomely for it as well. Because they need people like that. They need black conservatives.
Oh man, and you got dreads too, though?
Man, what? I will be fighting stereotypes, man. Like, look at this black dude with dreads, and he's actually conservative. They will put me on every show, every single show. But I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, no,
I'm not gonna do that.
And that's the thing. H.A., I think he used to. He probably still does. I haven't checked it out lately, but I used to read a lot of his articles, and they used to be really good. Is when he started devoting more time to YouTube and devoting most of his content to just putting out all Hillary related things.
It's like a drug, man.
It's a drug.
It's a drug, man. Jimmy's like, do it, Will. Fox needs you.
But I do want
man,
I want the what?
No, I do the okie doke on him, man. I'm straight up. I'll be conservative for a minute,
and then you just flip the script.
Flip it hard.
As soon as you get that money.
Hell yeah.
As soon as you get that money.
Yeah, I'll flip it on air live. So nah, they would. See, they gonna find this. They won't hire me. They know what I'm gonna do. I can't be trusted. Anyway, we're gonna get out of here. Gonna go on Facebook. Appreciate everybody that tuned in, and we'll be back on Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you on Thursday. Peace.